Messi has won his 8th Ballon d'Or, and that's a crazy number in itself. To say 8 Ballon d'Ors, I don't know if anybody's ever gonna reach that, but to be honest, today is about whether this was a robbery. Because I've seen a lot of people say it's a robbery, and I'm kind of I wouldn't say it's a robbery, because Messi, to be honest, he had a great season for Argentina. Yeah, he had a great World Cup, let's say, for Argentina. He had a decent season, I would say, with PSG. Definitely better than his first season in PSG. But overall, if you look at Haaland's numbers, I'm gonna be honest, these are absolute freakish numbers. These are numbers that Messi and Ronaldo were putting up, around 2013, 2014. So this is a very special year by Haaland, and he came in breaking every Premier League record. He won the treble. To be honest, there was nothing more Haaland can do. Nothing more. There was nothing more for him to win this award. Even if he made the World Cup, Haaland would not have won this award. He had to do a lot more. He probably had to make a semi-final of a World Cup. But at the end of the day, to be honest, Messi's name holds a huge regard in these awards. So if you switch the stats between Messi and Haaland, and if Messi had around 55 goals for the season, you would go crazy. I would think Messi fans would go crazy on the numbers he is achieving and would nominate him for the Ballon d'Or and would say Messi deserves the Ballon d'Or. And Ballon d'Or themselves might give it to Messi. If Haaland had those Messi numbers, obviously he's a striker, but if he had those Messi numbers, he would be nowhere near this conversation. So it's very interesting, but this Ballon d'Or really showed that going forward, this might become a huge World Cup based award, because it was never like this. Alvarez being 7th, respect to Alvarez, but he didn't have the season that he's having right now, the season with Man City. Last season I would say he was decent. He was a good role player off the bench, providing good attacking depth. I would say that. He wasn't really a huge factor in Man City winning the Champions League. We can all admit that, but he was a good factor. But him being 7th best player in the world for that year, to me, is a bit ridiculous. I didn't have him there. I thought he would be 15th, 16th. 7 is crazy, ahead of guys like Osimhen, who, yes, he didn't play a World Cup. A World Cup is huge. Let me not discredit a World Cup. A World Cup is a huge award, huge trophy. That is the biggest trophy you can win in football. If you say give me 5 Champions League or a World Cup, I'm taking that World Cup, because the World Cup happens once every 4 years. It's huge. So in that regard, I understand it. But the Ballon d'Or is known as a performance-based tournament. It's on the player's performance. They changed this last year. They told us. They said it's not about international trophies. If you want an international trophy and you contributed, that's cool. But it's not about that. It's more about your individual performance and how you did. Osimhen was 8, and he was behind Alvarez, and I don't agree with that. Osimhen needs to be 7th. At most, right? The top 3 was Mbappe, Haaland, and Messi. We all knew Messi was winning it, coming into this day. We all knew it. But congrats to Messi on his 8th Ballon d'Or. But in the end of the day, just my opinion, I think Haaland really deserved it. But the whole point of this ceremony for me, they give Messi a lot of time as well on the mic. They give Messi a lot of questions. They gave him a lot of time getting out speech, which to me indicates, like, here, Messi, this is your farewell ceremony to this awards ceremony. And that was a lot of ceremonies there, but this was basically his farewell to this award. This was his last time winning it. I don't think Messi's. To be honest, he plays Inter Miami. This is the first MLS player to win a Ballon d'Or award, which is crazy as well. But this was a farewell ceremony to Messi. This is how I saw it. It could be politics or whatever, but this is how I saw it. This was Messi's last Ballon d'Or. They gave him. They had to give it to him. This was the last time he was ever gonna be on the stage. So I feel like they felt like they had to give him. But to be honest, Messi has some of the best performances in that World Cup I've ever seen from a player. There's no doubt about that. We can talk about the semi-final versus Croatia. This is one of the best Messi performances I've ever seen, to be honest, because that's clutch. That's a clutch gene. A lot of people were doubting Messi's clutch gene, but that is a clutch gene. To go out against Croatia, against one of the best young center backs in the world, to do that, incredible. So you have to give a lot of credit to that. He got Argentina through that group stage, and in the final, we already know what happened. It could go both ways. But for me, Haaland was my Ballon d'Or guy. I think he deserved the Ballon d'Or. But if you had Messi, I'm not gonna argue with you because the World Cup is very, very, very coveted. I'm not gonna argue against the World Cup. Huge tournament. It's a lot of people calling it a 7-game tournament. I don't agree with that at all. What do you guys think? Do you think Messi deserves it or Haaland? Let me know. Anyway, peace out and see you next time.